All right, so today we're really diving deep into something that I think is pretty fascinating.
Okay.
It's Klarna.
Klarna.
Klarna. Everybody knows Klarna. But have you ever really thought about
Yeah.
how global they are?
Not really, no.
Like, I know they're international, but I haven't really thought about, like, the scale of things. But that's what we're looking at today.
Okay.
We are going to their website
Right.
and just seeing,
Oh, cool.
like, how far their reach really is.
Right.
And so this is going to be fun. This is going to be a worldwide journey.
Sounds like fun.
All through the Klarna website.
Oh, all right.
So to start out with, I went to their Klarna International page.
Okay.
And it lists, like, all the places that they are.
Yeah, how many is it?
And it's a lot. It's over 20 countries.
Wow.
And it's not just, like, the usual suspects.
Right.
They're Australia, Japan, Mexico.
Wow.
They're in Finland. Like, they are all over the place. And it really, I don't know, it made me think about, like, the scale that a company like that has to operate on.
Absolutely.
To be in that many markets, to be dealing with that many,
different
kinds of people, different financial systems.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting there is it's not even just about, being present in those markets, right? Like just having a flag on a map.
Right.
It's about actually understanding and integrating into those diverse markets. And you can see this even with the languages that they offer.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, they're not just in like, the UK, US, Australia. They're in, you mentioned Switzerland. Yeah. They've got, I think, 4 languages for Switzerland alone.
Right.
And then you look at something like simplified versus traditional Chinese. Yeah. That's a nuance that I think a lot of companies don't even consider. And it speaks volumes about their understanding of like, okay, we really need to like really get into this market. Yeah. Like we want to actually make this work.
And I think that just makes a lot of sense as a consumer. Right. Like, can you imagine going to like a website?
Yeah.
And it's like,
and you can't read any of it.
All in a language that you don't understand. You're just going to leave.
It's like, where am I? What is this? Yeah, no.
It's, so I think that building that trust, like they are clearly taking it seriously, like building that trust and that familiarity with consumers, no matter where they are.
Yeah, no matter where they are geographically, what their background is, what language they speak. Yeah. It shows that they're really trying to cater to a global audience and not just like a couple of select markets, which I think is really, really smart on their part.
Yeah, and like you said, this goes way deeper than just language, though.
Right.
Like, they're clearly thinking about this from a business perspective as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got Australia. Right. You've got Romania. Yep. Like, these are vastly different financial landscapes, consumer behaviors, regulations, everything. So the fact that they've been able to find this business model that's clearly scalable and adaptable to all those different nuances, it says a lot about their, I think, their strategy and their ability to execute on it. Yeah. Because it's not easy to do that.
No, not at all.
And the other thing I wanted to touch on was you mentioned catering to users, right? And one thing that stood out to me looking at their website was they have these sections like Price Runner.
Oh, yeah.
And more from Klarna. And I don't know about you, but that to me kind of like hints at something bigger than just payments.
Right. It's like they're trying to become more than just like the payment option, which I find fascinating.
Yeah, so these sections are where things get really, really interesting because we start to see Klarna's move beyond just geographical expansion, right? Yeah. Just being in all these countries. Right. And into building like a full-fledged shopping and financial ecosystem. Right. Like take their acquisition of Price Runner, for example. Yeah. Right, so this is a company they actually acquired. Yeah. It's a leading price comparison platform in the UK, Denmark, and Sweden, at least. I think those are the primary markets. Right. So what does that tell us? That tells us they're not content with just being, like you said, the payment method. Right. At the end of your purchase, they want to be there. Right. Throughout the entire journey.
Yeah. So they're going from just being Klarna to being like the place that you go to shop.
Yeah. Like a one-stop shop. You find the best deal. Right. You compare prices. You buy it through Klarna, the whole 9 yards.
That's really interesting.
Right, and then it doesn't stop there. Okay. You mentioned more from Klarna. Yeah. There's sections like open banking, Klarna Insights,
Okay, those sound a little more complicated.
Yeah, these are a little bit more in the weeds in terms of financial technology, but I'll try to break it down.
Okay, yeah.
So open banking, essentially, it's this idea where you can securely share your financial data between different institutions with your consent, of course.
Right, of course.
So what this allows Klarna to do is position themselves as like a central hub for managing your finances. Right. So it's not just, okay, I'm going to use Klarna to split this payment into 4. It's like, Klarna's going to help me budget. Klarna's going to help me track my spending. Klarna's going to, maybe even give me investment advice down the line. Who knows? So it becomes this much more holistic financial management tool.
Right.
And then you've got Klarna Insights. Which, while they don't explicitly say it on the website, you can kind of infer that they're leveraging all this shopping data that they have to provide insights to businesses. So now they're not just helping consumers, they're helping the businesses that sell to those consumers.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Which, again, just further embeds them into this whole ecosystem of e-commerce. They're not just a player, they're becoming like an integral part of how this whole thing works.
They're essential.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah.
Which is, I mean...
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
A little bit, yeah, but it's also kind of brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hats off to them. They've really identified, I think, a need in the market. And they're really aggressively going after it. Yeah.
So I think the big takeaway here is that Klarna is, when we talk about them being global, it's more than just a list of countries, right? They're creating this whole global network. They're adapting to local preferences. They're strategically acquiring these companies and expanding their services. And it's all very intentional, This isn't...
it's very calculated.
This isn't an accident. Like, they're really trying to...
It's not by chance. They're not just throwing darts at a map and seeing what sticks. They're like, no, we're going to go in here. We're going to dominate this market. We're going to understand everything about it. And we're going to be the go-to solution.
And it's fascinating. To watch it happen, I think.
And I think that's the billion-dollar question, right? As this whole landscape continues to evolve, because e-commerce is not slowing down. Financial technology is exploding. How is Klarna going to leverage all of this, this infrastructure they've built, this brand recognition they have, this trust they've established with consumers? How are they going to use that to shape the future of this entire landscape?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is. And I don't think they have the answer yet. Which is exciting.
It is. It is.
Because it means that they're going to have to continue innovating. They're going to have to continue pushing the boundaries. And we get to sit back and watch what happens.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too.
This has been really, really interesting.
It's fascinating stuff.